On this episode of Cape Media News, the Barnstable Municipal Airport gives a public update on their ongoing PFAS investigation and environmental safety practices. The Cape Cod Classic Car Club holds their weekly Saturday night cruise-in at Patriot Square in Dennis, and we visit Oma Goat's farm to learn all about baby goat yoga. These stories and more, this is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Gabrielle Rawson. The testing for emerging contaminants in our public drinking water continues this week here on Cape Cod. In an effort to locate and manage potential sources of groundwater contamination, the Barnstable Municipal Airport presented a draft of its public involvement plan, a document which provides an overview of the airport's environmental management practices, including a discussion on their use of firefighter foam, a known source of contamination. Cape Media News attended their public presentation earlier this week to learn more about how they're working to protect the environment from PFAS, a man-made chemical that has been known to present health risks. Emily Tulloch reports.
Soil contamination has some Hyannis residents concerned about water quality. The Barnstable Municipal Airport held a public meeting this week to share their public involvement plan regarding PFAS, a chemical found in many manufactured compounds, and their ongoing practices to ensure water safety.
PFAS has a very long name to it. It's perfluoroalkyl substances, and it's fluorinated compounds that are used as a surfactant, so it's to try to prevent water and another layer of something from getting wet. So it's applied in like Scotchgard on fabrics to prevent staining. It's in cookware, Teflon cookware. Historically, it's had PFAS compounds in it. It's in food wrappers, microwave popcorn bags, things like that. So it's in a variety of different materials that have been manufactured over the years. The most toxic two chemicals that are part of this are no longer made in the U.S., but they are made in other countries and have the potential to come over here. And the same surfactant is part of the firefighting foam, which is why it's a concern here at the airport and is something that we're looking at in those areas.
In an emergency, the airport is federally mandated to use firefighter foam, which has PFAS in it, and there are no known alternatives. The soil surrounding the airport has tested positive for PFAS.
So firefighting foam is something that we have to use. We're regulated by the Federal Aviation Administration to use this type of foam. PFAS has been determined to be of concern for drinking water standards. So back in 2016, the DEP came to the airport and said, provide us with some information. Tell us how you use your firefighting foam, where you've sprayed your foam, what incidents have occurred on the airfield where you had to use that foam. And by the way, can you do some testing for us? Since 2015, we have not sprayed foam during a triannual drill or during our annual testing because of the PFAS being brought up to us at that point in time. So we know of the two locations that are present on the airfield that had concentrations that are a bit higher, and that we have to do something about that. What does that do something mean? That means maybe taking the soils that are in that area, removing them, replacing them with clean soils. So there's a lot of different options, and we just want to make sure that we express to the community that we are doing what we have to do in order to respond.
Over the last few years, research has shown the Hyannis water system has been impacted by PFAS. Dan Santos, director of the Department of Public Works, says drinking water is safe. Removal of the compounds from the water is the next course of action.
It's in the groundwater, it's below the standard in our water system, so it's not a problem. Well, it is in the water, there's no doubt about that.
Right.
The question is, what's the source? But from my perspective, from the town and operating the water system, we have to treat and remove these compounds from the water, which is what we're breaking ground on in just a couple of weeks, is a new water treatment system at the Morrow well field, which will treat these contaminants so that we can continue to use those wells into the future.
The public meeting was held on July 29th. The airport will issue a final draft of the public involvement plan by September 17th. In Hyannis for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tulloch.
And although the airport no longer uses the firefighting foam during drills or training exercises, the public involvement plan includes ongoing assessment of the nature and extent of PFAS contamination on the premises. The airport is encouraging the public to read the plan and provide comments. You can learn more at Barnstable Municipal Airport's website under Airport Info, Plans and Reports. Every weekend, the Cape Cod Classic Car Club holds a Saturday night cruise-in from 4:30 p.m. until dusk at Patriot Square in South Dennis. The event is free and features cars new and old from every era. But when they aren't congregating with their classic cars, they're out giving back to the community. I attended their special Cars Under the Stars event to learn more. Calling all car lovers. The Cape Cod Classic Car Club is hosting a free Saturday night cruise-in at Patriot Square in Dennis. Cape Cod's largest weekly car show features a variety of cars, from vintage classic to modern muscle, and everything in between.
We usually have 125 to 150 vehicles. We have about 187 members right now, and people just love to see cars. It's a really popular thing. I think everybody gets something different out of the experience. Some people really enjoy restoring old cars, and other people buy brand new muscle cars.
I love the colors, the nostalgia. I met my husband, he had a '69 Firebird. I've always been attracted to cars and the interest, and then we found this club and about 4 or 5 years ago, and we used to come out, and then we wanted to join.
Many of the classic cars are rebuilds. It's a process that takes a lot of time, love, and dedication.
A lot of technology behind it all. People don't realize that. It's a lot of work, a lot of hours.
My wife and I purchased this car about 25, maybe 27 years ago, all apart. Somebody started restoring it, and we bought it in pieces. This is a car when we brought it home on the trailer. Here's the parts in the back of the pickup truck. And this is the car during reconstruction. When it was brand new, I worked at a Ford dealer in Worcester, and this is the car we used to drag race. And we drag raced it for one season. The dealership sold the car. It went through 6 owners before I found it. And I only found it by luck.
We finally got our car on the road after a 5-year build, and just wanted to be part of this great event that happens every Saturday here, and we're just excited after a lot of effort to go into the build of this car, to get it out and show people the vision we had. I was kind of done riding motorcycles, and I wanted a car for my wife and I to retire and kind of ride around the Cape and be cool a bit with, and he says, then you got to come down and see this car. And I looked at it, it was nothing but metal fab and rust, and it was all, you know, welded together, and I looked at it and I knew what it could be. And I'm really, really humbled and happy to be here with it today.
In addition to putting on car shows, the Cape Cod Classic Car Club spends time giving back to the community.
We do good things. We raise money for charities in the local schools, for toolships. So if you love cars and you like doing things for your community and you like working with great people, that would be a reason to join. And to come just if you love cars, the interest of cars, old, new, in between, then it's actually a nice night.
If they like cars, they should come.
I just like to look at all the old cars that are out there.
Any car here that you like best?
All of them.
The Cape Cod Classic Car Club can be found every Saturday at Patriot Square in South Dennis. Find them online at capecodclassics.org. In South Dennis, for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson. And the Cape Cod Classic Car Club is holding another special event on August 24th, this time to raise money for local charity. You can learn more about their 26th annual Blast from the Past at capecodclassics.org, or check out the cars for yourself this Saturday and every Saturday through September 21st at Patriot Square in South Dennis. Up next, the craze that's sweeping the nation, baby goat yoga, comes to Cape Cod.
Do you notice the large influx of cyclists on our roads in the summer? Every year, 4,000 international students choose to make Cape Cod their home for the summer and for the experience of a lifetime. Biking is their main and often only mode of transportation. I'm Kathy Boyle with the Mid-Cape Assembly of God. Our mission is to provide safety equipment to these visitors as well as late-night shuttles to ensure their safe commute to and from work. These university students are future teachers, engineers, and ambassadors. They come to share their cultures with us while contributing to the Cape economy during our busiest season. Unfortunately, they can't realize these dreams if they don't make it home safely. We're asking for donations to purchase bike lights and reflective vests and to fund the nightly shuttles that are imperative to these students' safety. Please visit midcapej1housing.org or email j1latebus@gmail.com to learn how you can contribute. Please help us ensure that these future world leaders have a fun and safe summer in our community.
There's a new form of yoga sweeping the nation called baby goat yoga. Yes, you heard that right, baby goat yoga. According to some, it's a great way to learn the practice and relieve some stress. We met up with Baby Goat Yoga of Cape Cod at Oma Goat's Farm to learn more. Emily Tulloch reports.
Baby goats and their undeniable cuteness are taking over Barnstable. Goat yoga is a craze that's sweeping the nation. The idea is simple. Goats are free to climb on participants during a yoga session. Oma Goat's farm owner Courtney Harris and yoga instructor Tanya Capucci have begun weekly baby goat yoga classes throughout the summer as an activity for people of all ages and experience level. Although many may see it as a social media trend, its origins on Cape Cod stem from a therapeutic standpoint.
I started to get into goat yoga because I work with special needs adults at a special needs school called the Latham Center, where my clients have behavioral issues, and I noticed bringing them to this animal therapy that a lot of their behaviors really subsided for between 20 and 24 hours after bringing them using this therapy. They were just very zen. Their emotions were just calmed down. They were breathing. I think that the intimate relationship between these individuals and the animals really got them to just really calm down and be in the moment, which is awesome because that's what yoga is all about. It's all about union and the relationship that you do have spending time with these baby creatures, these beautiful baby creatures, is what really just helps you be in the moment, and that's what yoga is also about. It's not just about the poses. People think they come here, oh, I don't know anything about yoga, I don't practice yoga, but there's 8 limbs of yoga, and the poses, the asanas, are just one limb of it. Again, being in the moment and having union with other beasts and animals and other people is also part of it. So we started this for therapy. It just opens people's minds to, again, being in the moment and having a little compassion for animals, for themselves, for other people, and just thinking outside your box a bit.
Oma Goat's farm began with only a few Nigerian dwarf goats to help control poison ivy. But it developed into a more meaningful experience for Courtney when she discovered the impact the goats had on her son.
When we just fell in love with their personalities, and we also discovered that they had such a deeper meaning here, and my son, who has autism, really took to them and became very compassionate and very gentle, and he really learned how to care for them and pick them up carefully. And for a child who has some aggressive episodes, he is a completely calm and gentle and compassionate child when he's around the baby goats. And it wasn't until Tanya came to me with the idea of doing it here that we jumped to action and we made it happen. Mm-hmm. And with the timing of all of the babies born in May, it was really great. Probably my favorite part about it is when I'm walking around taking pictures. I have noticed that, of course, the people in the picture are smiling, but it's the people in the background who don't even know that their picture is being taken, and they are so full of joy, and they are laughing, and their head is thrown back, and they're just really, really enjoying the activity.
The yoga not only benefits people, but the animals as well. Every yoga session allows the goats to socialize and enjoy human interaction. Each one has their own name and are well tended to.
Our first class on June 1st was full of, I think we had 6 babies to start. They were all between 10 days and 3 weeks old. It was a really, really fun class. And right now they're just a couple months old, and they are getting more rambunctious and adventurous, and they're hopping up on people's backs voluntarily instead of being placed. All of my goats are my pets. I love them all very much, and all of our babies are hand-raised, bottle-raised, and the moms are milked a couple times a day, and I make products out of the milk. And as of right now, I'm keeping some of the baby goats, and the other ones who are very well socialized through our yoga program will go off to be either pets or farm companions to other homes around the Cape and around New England.
Visit Baby Goat Yoga of Cape Cod on Facebook to find out more information on classes. In Barnstable, for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tellick.
And if you're interested in trying baby goat yoga for yourself, classes are held every Thursday and Saturday morning at Mass Audubon's Wildlife Sanctuary in Comaquid. To learn more, visit babygoatyogacc.com. Up next, an update from the Chatham Anglers.
In the Yarmouth Port along Route 6A, known as one of the most beautiful roads in America, there's a little-known secret, a special building. I'm Mariana Gresti, representing the Yarmouth New Church Preservation Foundation. Since 1998, a non-religious group of local citizens have been restoring this former church building and have reopened its doors as a community center for visual and performing arts. The original details, including the stained glass windows, the tracker organ, the cast iron bell, and the recently restored ceiling paintings, are considered some of the best examples of American Gothic architecture in Massachusetts. In the audience room, we host local and visiting musicians and performers, even local school groups. In our Great Room Gallery, we hold receptions and display fine art. If you are interested in performing in our authentic historic space with its amazing acoustics, or want to help us with preservation and planning through volunteering, please go to our website at yarmouthportcommon.org. Just click on Contact and let us know. Remember to check out our calendar for this coming season of events. We look forward to seeing you at the Bell Tower on Yarmouth Port Common. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Gabrielle Rawson. After a long and exciting season, the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship playoffs are finally here. But before we get to that, we have an exciting behind the scenes with the Chatham Anglers. We visited them at Veterans Field. Tyler Allen reports.
The Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs are approaching fast. Today we visited Veterans Field, home of the Chatham Anglers.
I'm Ben Ramirez. I'm from the University of Southern California. I play shortstop, and I'm from San Diego.
I'm Jamal O'Gwin. I'm from Fresno, California. I play outfield for the University of Southern California.
I'm Caden Polkovich. I'm an outfielder from Edmond, Oklahoma.
The competition is heating up as the playoffs approach. We asked the players what they can expect in the postseason.
I think just the competition and the guys around you. I mean, everybody out here has played at the highest level that they could up to their college point in their college careers. So just the competition, coming out here every day and facing a good pitcher who can throw the ball well and just trying to make adjustments off that. I think we've been in a little bit of a cold streak, but we just need to focus on what we know works and just come out and just try to play some baseball.
I mean, everybody out here is good. You're surrounded by the best players in the country, and obviously at school you are too, but when you have a team made up from obviously different parts of the country, different schools, it makes teams a lot better, so definitely the competition out here. Obviously a lot of competition. Obviously now we get a lot of the best pitchers, guys who've been doing well during the summer. So a lot of good competition and a lot of close ball games, and hopefully the A's come out on top.
This league it's one of a kind. It's the best competition in the country, in my opinion. So it's a really great experience, just coming out here, getting the experience. I'm enjoying it as I go. Just got to battle in the box, I think. We got to lay off some off-speed pitches early. We got to score early, continue to play defense that we're capable of. And I think we're going to like the results of it.
With only a few games left, field manager Tom Holliday reflected upon the season so far, along with general manager Mike Galen's insight on the future of players' careers after the summer.
And this is by far the best league in talent-wise in the country, and it's a very unique league. You know, you feel like you're on an island in the middle of nowhere, and quite frankly, we are. And as a result of that, I think professionally speaking, scouts like to come up here because it's a very comfortable climate. And, you know, for the people who live up here, it's great nighttime entertainment. And you can bet every night you're going to see a future major leaguer on one of the ball clubs in the Cape. Playoffs are around the corner. I think the players are looking forward to that so that they can get it in, finish their mission, and get home for what's going to be left of the summer.
In my active time as GM, most of the guys that have gone on from here are in the minors more than the majors, but we've had some great success with that. I mean, last year we had three of our players last year went in the first round this past June, including Michael Bush. He went to the Dodgers, Greg Jones, and Alek Manoah. Alek was the 11th choice in the first round and is now pitching in Vancouver. I think it was 28 players total drafted from last year's team, which is a pretty high number.
The Anglers won 8-7 with a win over the Orleans Firebirds. In Chatham for Cape Media News, I'm Tyler Allen.
And the Cape Cod Baseball League's championship playoffs kick off tonight. The Bourne Braves play Falmouth Commodores in Falmouth at 6 p.m. The Cotuit Kettleers play the Wareham Gatemen on Spillane Field at 6:45. In Chatham, the Harwich Mariners play the Chatham Anglers at 7, and the YD Red Sox play the Orleans Firebirds in Orleans at 7. To get this weekend's full playoff schedule, visit capecodbaseball.org. Well, that brings this week's episode of Cape Media News to a close. Please follow us on Facebook for more local daily news, and thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. With Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rosson.